Hello everyone, I thought I'd do a update on my 75-gallon tank, and so I just figured I'd do a little voiceover as we take a look at the tank and where it's at. The 75-gallon actually got neglected for a period of time with everything going on and the family not feeling well, so it wasn't getting as much attention as it had in the past, and so I'm trying to bring it back from that. It's been a little bit in disarray. Some of the plants have suffered. The fish all seem to be doing pretty good. But yeah, here's the Anubias Nanopetite. I had cleared off most of this black-beard algae off of this plant recently, but it started to creep in a little bit more. And with this plant, it seems to be pretty easy for it to grow on there. The shrimp, the red cherries, and everything love to be on the plants. I see them around it a lot, and I've always got molly fry around that plant. And you can see here that my Anubius bacteria, I think is how you say it, still suffering. I've had this plant for a long time, but the blackbeard just keeps covering it, and whenever I treat it, this is what I see. Kind of a view looking toward the back. I believe this is either, it could be an Amazon chainsword, I don't think it is, Dwarf Sagittaria, I'm not sure, or Vallisneria jungle val, maybe. Let me know what you think. It just popped up. I didn't put it back there. It's all three of those are in the tank, and this just kind of showed up. You see the Amazon swords are looking a little bit better back there. And this is just kind of a shot that I had. I took at the side of the tank, and there'll be a few of these mixed in with the video, just some pictures that I've taken. You see this Java Fern. I cannot get Java Fern to look good in my tank. Not sure what I need to do. And here's a shot of the Java Fern right now. You can see it just doesn't look good. I see some people's Java Fern, and it's just real lush and full, and this is about as full as mine has ever been. And I do dose a couple times a week with Easy Green. That's all I can get. We're back on the Nanopetite. You can see some of the blackbeard along the edges, and a lot of life in that area. Now I'm on the side of my tank looking down the tank, and you see that I got the Anubius all on this side. And that is because I usually keep my my duckweed and all my floaters on this end to try and keep some of the light off of these plants. And we're still looking down the side, a little bit higher view, looking down through you see the Java Fern, the Amazon swords toward the back, and then all of the crypts through there. Here's a shot, a little bright in this picture, but just a quick shot of all the plants. I love the side view of the tanks. I really appreciate the side view. All right, looking at the Amazon sword, you can see a lot of, or you can see some anyway, some fry swimming around. We've got fry of all different ages. This Amazon sword, I had to cut quite a few leaves off of it. It needed root tabs. They don't like to go without root tabs. You can see some life on the sponge filter. I've got a lot of pond snails, which I like. I like the pond snails. They help keep the tank clean. I don't feel overrun with them or anything like that. I like watching them. And of course I love watching the red cherries. This is the center of the tank to the right of the driftwood that I have in the tank. Oh, that was quick. I probably should have left that a little bit longer. And here's a shot of the carpet that has grown. It's a mix of Dwarf Sagittaria and Dwarf chainswords. I really can't tell what's what anymore. I keep trying to pull out the Dwarf Sagittaria and move it. I think the chainswords only get about 4 inches, and the Dwarf Sagittaria can get more like 6. And that's typically what happens. I pull out the Dwarf Sagittaria and move it a little further back in the tank. And this is some crypt parva. I think that's what it is. It is growing and spreading in the tank, but you can see it's struggling with black algae. And I've also got some other plants. I think I see a chainsword in there as well. Unfortunately, the voice recording kind of covers up the image, so I don't see it as good as I would like. You also see the blackbeard algae growing on those rocks, and I'm starting to think I need to get some, or the pebbles. I'm thinking I need to get a smaller pebble and maybe do a layer of that. Someone mentioned to me, I think it was in the aquarium co-op forums, that maybe I'm having some nutrients leak from those gravel, and I've got smaller gravel in there as well, but it could be possible. So you see the stem plants here, the Pogostemon stellatus octopus and the rotala. It's been growing pretty good. That rotala, I forgot it was in there. It must have been a small piece, but it grew out and it's looking all right. You can see here from the side, I've got some roots coming off of it. So I'm gonna try to propagate that and grow that out. And here's a side view from the other side of the tank. I love watching all the fish moving in and out of the depth of the 75. It's one of the reasons why I got the 75. I wanted the depth for the plants, and I just love watching all the inhabitants swim around and having a lot of room. Of course, I like smaller fish. I'm sure I would like big fish if I got them, but I do like smaller fish. Now, this video right here, this was updated after some of my friends at the East Tennessee Aquatic Association brought me some plants from the last few meetings. My family's been sick. We've not been able to make it the last 2 months, and they were nice enough to hold back some plants. And so you see some Ludwigia repens or repens. I don't know how to say it. You can correct me, please. Growing there. I think it was in a bag for a few days, so it doesn't look the best right now, but it's a pretty hardy plant. I'm hoping it will bounce back. You see where I moved this dwarf chainsword. I found it floating, so I just put it someplace different. And in these crypts, there are new Wendetti bronze, I believe they are. They're kind of hard to see because they're a lot smaller than the crypts that I have there. I tried to place them in some open areas so that they can get a little bit of light, but I know they do well without light. Oh, and I don't know the name of this. I should have looked it up before I recorded this. I meant to. Hydro something. One of the members, actually one of the board members, Curtis, brought this plant to me, and I'm really excited about trying it out. I stuck it over here in the sand because I've read it doesn't even have to be in a substrate to grow. So I thought that'd be a great place. And then they also sent me, there's the Pogostemon stellatus, which I already had, the Pogostemon stellatus octopus, but they sent me a bunch more, and I have that floating in the tank. So you see it up there floating. I have planted some in the back of the tank, but there's a little mixture here. You can see mine stretching up to the top over here on the left and starting to grow again. It had really, if you look a little bit down, like 4 inches down, you can see how it's all gnarly. That's what I had going on. But yeah, this is the tank, and it's been doing pretty good. I'm really happy with the gains that I've had recently. I love how it's looking and how it's been doing. It's still got some room for growth. I have some projects going on. Someone from the ETAA also brought me a DIY CO2 setup. I still need to get a couple things for that. I need a diffuser and a bubble counter. I hope to get those this weekend, and I'll put it on this tank and maybe help a little bit with the plant growth and starve out some of the blackbeard. I don't know how it'll work out. It's DIY, it's not a lot of CO2, but it's something. I'm gonna try it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I get the bug for CO2, maybe I start doing more. I'd love to have some stem plants in there and some things that would grow a little bit faster. But tell me what you think. What do you think about the tank, where it's at? It looks so much better than it did, but it's still a long way from where I want it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you check out the East Tennessee Aquatic Association. If you're in the East Tennessee area, we are a new club. We've met the last 2 months. Next month, we're going to have Sean Peck of Peck Tech giving us a talk during the meeting. That's going to be a lot of fun. I enjoy his channel. And then the month after that, we are having a fish swap in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be the first week in April. I'll have more information for that later, but yeah, that's my tank. That's the February update. I should probably make another video because I just added fish today, but I've had this video sitting out there to do for a while, and I wanted to go ahead and complete it. So there you go. Thanks for checking out my tank, and hope you have a great day.